When faced with adversaries and foreign threats, the United States military turns to its long fleet of deadly aircraft and weapons. As expected, the B-2 bomber is one of the first names that's called upon, and more often than not, it delivers the goods with reckless abandon. No surprises here though, because this is downright one of the most sophisticated military aircraft in the world. Originally manufactured to headline the United States military campaign against the Soviet Union, the B-2 Spirit bomber is designed to breeze through the world's best air defense systems without getting noticed. Well, that's why it's called a stealth bomber in the first place. But how does an aircraft that measures 172 feet wide travel the world without leaving any trail? Why is it considered one of the most lethal military machines of all time? Join us as we examine the incredible power and stealth capabilities of the B-2 bomber. Also, in this video, we will be revealing the flying range of this powerful aircraft and the missions it has executed so far, so do well to stick around to the end. The B-2 bomber, otherwise known as the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit, was built in the 1970s to replace the B-52 bomber. Its job description was pretty simple on paper: sneak into the Soviet Union undetected, drop a couple of nuclear weapons, and return to base, all within a short while. As you would imagine, smuggling a giant aircraft past some of the most intelligent air defense systems in the world was never going to be a walk in the park. So, the contractor, Northrop Grumman, spent billions of dollars and nearly a decade mixing things up, and the result was a revolutionary flying wing called the B-2. It travels at a subsonic speed of 0.95 Mach and is capable of wreaking more havoc than a typical fighter jet. But how does it manage to stay invisible? The B-2's state-of-the-art stealth capabilities are a result of some top-level engineering. Usually, air defense systems use radar signature or cross-sections to track and monitor the positions of aircraft and drones. When installed, radar systems would normally send out electromagnetic waves in all directions. Once this wave collides with an object in the sky, it immediately travels back to the source, where it is then assessed and used to determine the advancing threats. However, the B-2 bomber is able to cheat this system thanks to a number of technologies. For one, it has very few leading edges for radar to reflect from. It is coated with composite materials and anti-reflective dark gray paint, which absorbs and deflects radio waves. Furthermore, this coating blends well with the sky and combines with other stealthy features to give the B-2 a cross-section or radar signature of 0.1 square meters. To preserve the coating and composite materials, B-2s are stored in a climate-controlled hangar, which reportedly costs $5 million each. For a fact, the B-2 bomber isn't the first flying wing design aircraft to attempt invisibility. Other candidates, such as the Northrop XB-35, Northrop YB-49, and more recently the F-117 Nighthawk and B-1, had their time in the sun, but all of them came with their own limitations, and none could match the sophistication and performance of the Spirit. Nowadays, the B-2 is less popular for being a stealth aircraft, largely because there's no need for it to show off just yet. It is better known as a multi-role bomber, capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear munitions. Why is it considered one of the most lethal military machines of all time? The United States military has some of the world's most deadly aircraft, but the B-2 Spirit is one of the few that stands out from the park. Aside from its low observability, this aircraft can also be devastating on the offensive. We saw this firsthand during Operation Allied Force in 1999 when the US unleashed two B-2s on Serbia. The harsh weather conditions made it a tricky operation for other aircraft, but the pair managed to perform astonishingly. First, they flew more than 31 hours from the Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri to Kosovo before raining bombs on their targets. In the end, the B-2 flew less than 1% of the entire missions, but ended up destroying 33% of the targets. Again, this doesn't come as a surprise given that the B-2 is capable of carrying more payload than the B-52 or B-1, between 20 to 30 tons of bombs to be specific. The B-2 bomber can fly 6,900 nautical miles on a stretch without having to refuel. Refueling once during an operation can extend that range to 11,500 miles or 18,500 kilometers. Another astonishing fact about the B-2 Spirit is it can be refueled in the air. In 2001, the B-2 Spirit completed one of the most extended air combat missions in history, flying for more than 44 hours to hunt down targets in Afghanistan. Fast forward to 2017, a pair of B-2s flew 33 hours to gift 85 500-pound bombs to a group of terrorists in the Libyan desert. In another terrifying show of its capability, the B-2 rained over 1.5 million pounds of ammunition on radical elements during the Operation Iraqi Freedom. Before we continue with our discussion, if you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. The B-2 is undoubtedly a popular war veteran within the United States military ranks, but at what cost? As you'd imagine, any aircraft with high-end offensive and defensive features like the B-2 Spirit doesn't come cheap. The average cost of manufacturing one B-2 is somewhere around $2.2 billion. Add that to the over $400 million annual maintenance cost and you'll get a perfect idea of how expensive it is to run this flying wing. It's needless to mention that the B-2 is the most expensive aircraft in the world. Initially, the United States set out to purchase 132 B-2s, but only 20 units were eventually bought, excluding 2 that were reserved as samples. One of them has since been transformed into a combat-ready B-2 bomber, while the other has found a house at the National Museum of the United States Air Force. Out of those 21 combat-ready units, only 20 remain in active service today because, unfortunately, one B-2 lost control during takeoff and crashed during a mishap in 2008. The 2 pilots on board ejected to safety. Why does the US military have only 21 units of these aircraft? Initially, the B-2's prime target was to help the US win the Cold War against the Soviet Union, but coincidentally, the Soviet Union began to crumble at the same time the aircraft was launched, and lawmakers didn't think it was a good idea to invest more money into the program. Back to the specifications now. Each B-2 is powered by 4 turbofan General Electric F118 engines, which are hidden behind its sleek body again to ensure that it remains stealthy. The cockpit in a B-2 is large enough to accommodate crew members, the mission commander on the right seat and the pilot on the left. What's the difference anyway? Well, any one of the crew members can handle the B-2. However, the mission commander is saddled with the responsibility of dropping bombs and controlling other sophisticated features while the pilot steers the aircraft. The cockpit of the B-2 isn't all that comfortable either. It has a toilet, fridge, microwave, and a small ground space that can fit an average human just in case the pilots need to catch a nap, but that's about all the luxury you'll get. Earning a seat on the B-2 is a sacred achievement through such that everyone who gets the opportunity is awarded a special Spirit number, depicting the order in which they flew the aircraft. To date, the Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri remains the only operational base for the B-2. We've said a lot about the prowess of the B-2, but it's not entirely perfect. The technologies that help to keep the aircraft stealthy mean that it cannot carry any defensive weapons to secure itself. Another drawback of the B-2 is that it's not quick enough to outrun other fighter jets or missiles. So if by any chance it gets detected, there's every possibility it'll get knocked down. But nonetheless, the B-2 bomber will continue to dominate the skies as the best stealth military aircraft in the world until the B-21 Raider is launched. In your opinion, what's the most fascinating feature about the B-2 Spirit? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to check out this video over here.